Hey, I'm Randy. I'm the Chief Audio Man. Thanks for coming in and watching me today. We're going to be talking about the Sony SSCS3. It's a tower speaker. I've talked about the bookshelves quite a bit, but today we're talking about the towers. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about the Sony SSCS3. All right, I've got everything very close to me so that I don't knock anything over. And I've nearly knocked it over about 3 times. So if you're new here, please subscribe. Lots of speaker reviews, fewer amp reviews, a couple of Bluetooth receiver reviews. There's all sorts of goodness in here. If you just subscribe, take a look at the channel, you might find something for you. Also, if you'd like to try high-res streaming for free, there's a link down in the description. Click on it. It's Amazon HD, Amazon Music Unlimited HD. It's only for people in the US or Canada, unfortunately. But if you are in North America, go ahead and click on the link. You can try it like 3 months for free. I get like $1 if you click on it, if you sign up for the free thing. It helps me. Helps me feel better about myself and buy more stuff to review. That's the important thing. So we're talking about the Sony, they call it the Core, Sony Core Series towers. All right, so let's talk about some specs. They have two 5.12 inch. I always love the 0.12 inch. 0.12, 2/100ths of an inch make a difference. Mica cellular woofers. Okay, I just hit something on my desk. Hold on. Yeah, sounds good. Very stiff. I'm just going to do it on the bookshelf. 1 inch soft dome. Actually, it's 0.98 inch soft dome regular tweeter, and then a 0.75 inch super tweeter. Okay, both soft domes. All right, they're rated at 6 ohms, 88 dB. Bookshelves are rated at 87 dB, so that extra woofer gives you 1 dB extra efficiency. And they're rated at 45 to 50,000 hertz. 45 to 50,000 hertz. Okay, so I am going to get this out of the way to begin with. I am very fond of the bookshelf speakers. I was very excited to get the towers. First set of towers I've had since probably 1990. Now probably 87. 87, Kenwood. 12-inch woofer with a 12-inch passive radiator. I wish I still had those speakers. Anyway, first towers since I was a kid. And I was very hopeful, very excited because I've reviewed the Sonys. I have compared the Sonys. The Sonys have competed in the Battle Speaker Shootout series that I have, and they've done quite well. If they were a Gladiator, they would still be alive, which is a big thing. A Gladiator, apparently they died if they lost. Okay, so very excited for these. Now I'm very disappointed. Okay, why? Keep watching, we'll get into it. Soundstage. Okay, so these are front ported. The bookshelves are rear ported. So also, this speaker doesn't have great off-axis performance. And off-axis performance lends itself to better sound staging and better imaging. With a front port and the towers, the way that they're built, I would deduce that they are meant to be close to a wall because of the front port and probably facing directly out into the room. All right. When you do that, the soundstage is okay. Imaging is not good. With the bookshelves, you can adjust the toe in. You have way more freedom with toe in. You have way more freedom with placement. The bookshelves image and soundstage better. The bookshelves image and soundstage better because you can move them around more than the towers. And what's a tower really meant for? Generally, it's for the front channels in a home theater. Okay? Let's also talk about the height. These are actually not as tall as they are. They're on top of a pair of Polk T15s, which is really what the Polk T15s are meant for, to be a stand for other speakers. Anyway, they're okay. T15s are okay if you hang them on a wall for like rear surrounds or something. So I had to put them up here to get them to basically ear height. Okay, so they're actually probably about the height that the bookshelves are right now. When you have tweeters that don't have great off axis, they're supposed to be at ear height up here where they are right now, and they're not, right? So just the design in and of itself is not going to be, it's not going to be as good as it can be had they been a little bit taller. I don't know why they're not taller. Maybe it's because MDF costs so much in China where they were made that they couldn't put some extra MDF in there to make them taller. Anyway, bottom line is they're not the right height. If you want to maximize the speaker, you're going to have to put it on something. And at that point, is it still a tower? Or you can, what I did is I just put some things underneath the front lip of it and kind of tilted them up, and they did sound better. They did sound better tilting them up. So, imaging, if you tow them in, you can get good imaging. Sound staging, I don't know why, but they're just not as good as the bookshelves. And, you know, I can think about why aren't they as good as the bookshelves? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, even when I towed these in, it just seemed like, or towed them out, it just didn't seem like the soundstage was there. It doesn't make sense to me. If you're smarter than I am, which you probably are, I can almost guarantee you're smarter than me. Put a note in the comments why the towers don't soundstage as well as the bookshelves. Anyway. Dun, 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 dun. Only, okay. Imaging, okay. All right. We're going to mix it up today. Let's talk about treble. There we go. Okay, with the super tweeter, you're getting up to 50,000 hertz. Well, that doesn't matter, Randy. People can't hear above 20,000 hertz. People like me can't really hear above maybe 15,000 hertz. But with a super tweeter, you get a sense of air. That sense of air can be heard through like inhaling, especially with female vocalists. I don't know. I sense that the inhale of a female vocalist, you can hear air hitting the microphone on certain recordings. It gives a better sense of being at the recording or at the performance. So while technically speaking a human being can't hear above it, we can still perceive it, whether or not it's hearing or whatever. I mean, bottom line, there's still things hitting your eardrum. Whether or not your eardrum is designed to listen or hear above 20,000 hertz is irrelevant. You still have stuff hitting your eardrum. Okay, whatever. I digress. Okay, again, the thing that I loved about the bookshelves is the clarity and the air and just how clean the sound, the upper treble was. Alanis Morissette sounded as good as I've heard her sound on a pair of speakers less than $200 with the bookshelves. For whatever reason, I don't know why, because they're basically the same speaker, just with another woofer and bigger. I don't get that from the towers. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out, like, I've been thinking about this, and I know that's probably odd, but I've been thinking about this. Why am I not getting the same experience out of the tower? And that's even when I'm aiming at getting the same height, everything, same toe in. I don't hear it. Cymbal crotches, good. They're okay. For something of this price range, they're okay. Speaking of price, these regularly go on sale for $100 a piece, $99, and that's what I paid for them. So Black Fridays, things like that, they go on sale, as do the bookshelves. $200 is what I paid for them. Okay. No, they're $160 now, I think, at Best Buy. I just took a look. So if that's $320 a piece, or let's say they're $150, that's $300 per pair. Okay. No, I mean, really, no. I mean, no. I'll get to my final conclusions, but I don't think they're a good value. And they could arguably be one of the most inexpensive set of tower speakers that one can purchase. I just don't think they're a good value. I don't. Decent decay on the cymbals and good clarity, but again, not as good as the bookshelves. I don't get it. I don't understand it. They have bad off axis, which is fine in a speaker. That doesn't mean a speaker's bad if it has bad off axis. Actually, when you have bad off axis with a speaker, you can control how it sounds as far as treble simply by toeing in or toeing out. But still, I don't know what it is about these. It just seemed like they were the same. Whether or not I had them pointed directly at me, well, I can't say that. When I had them pointed directly at me, they were okay. When I had them pointed out, they didn't sound good from a treble perspective. And I'll get to that in the final thoughts. All right. Let's talk about mid-range. Mid-range is recessed. And again, I don't get it because the mid-range on the bookshelves is not recessed. At the beginning of Shoot to Thrill by AC/DC, there's a guitar. That guitar comes out of the right channel, and although it's stepped back in the recording, it still should be clear. And when it comes in, you should hear almost like a power tool kind of sound. It kind of cracks. It's very good. The towers didn't handle it well. It sounded just not only stepped back, but slightly veiled. And it's got to be the height of it, but even when I got them in what I would consider the same height as the bookshelves, it still didn't do it. Female vocals is one of the things that the bookshelves did the best, and while they were okay on the towers, they pale in comparison to the bookshelves. And I don't completely know why. Acoustic guitars sound good, but overall, there's just a reoccurring theme with these. Number one, they don't sound as good as the bookshelves. Number two, everything, it just doesn't seem, it doesn't seem balanced on the low end, and it's probably because of the front port. Mid-range is okay, I guess it's okay. Let's talk about bass. Bass is anemic. These are rated down to, I think it's 45. All right. They sound less bassy than the bookshelves that are rated down to 50. I think a lot of that has to do with the front porting. But the bookshelves still have a wider sweet spot as far as where you can place them and still seem balanced and cohesive. The towers don't sound balanced. They just don't. Maybe if you just shove them right up against the wall as close as they can get, you're going to get some room gain, which is going to fill out that bass a little bit more. But if they may hit 45 hertz, but they do it in a way that's not balanced with the rest of the sound signature. Like they may hit 44, it just may be blaring and shouty and crazy. They are not balanced like a the Clips RP600M. Now, granted, that's a $400 speaker, or the ELAC. However, there's speakers in this price range that are much more balanced. For $200 a pair, Q Acoustics 3020, that's like $230, way more balanced. The Bookshelves, way more balanced. And you can affect the bass and the treble simply by placement. So you can kind of tailor the sound to your needs or to your desires. The towers, they don't have that freedom of moving them around, and nor should they. They're a tower. They're kind of meant to be placed and forgotten about. Stick them by your TV and be done with it. The bass on this, while tight, isn't not tonally accurate compared to the rest of the sound signature, nor is it visceral to the point where you can actually feel it. And when you turn it up to the point where you can feel it, then it's shouty and unpleasant. It's simply unpleasant. I'm sorry. I don't like giving these a review like this. And normally I have something nice to say about a speaker. They look cool. They look cool. They look cool. Bass is thin. It's not booming. I guess that's a compliment. It's not boomy bass at all. That's a compliment. And they're clear. They're clear. Okay, here's the compliments. It's clear if you point it right at you. Otherwise, it can be veiled. What are my final thoughts? If the Sony SSCS3 is the Sony SSCS5's big brother, which is the Bookshelves, then it is a stepbrother that has been locked away in the basement with maybe like bread crust shoved underneath the door and some chicken broth occasionally. Maybe like a half-eaten chicken leg thrown in there that's cold. Well, the Bookshelves have been given protein supplements and a variety of other things, and well fed and well rested. I don't get it. I don't understand why the Bookshelves are so much better at the price that these are at, even at $200. Okay, so when the towers are on sale for $100 a piece, that makes them $200 a pair. The Bookshelves are on sale for like $73 to $75. Okay, and then the subwoofer's on sale for $100. So get the Bookshelves and the sub. You're still only at $273 to $275. That mean, no, scratch that. I can't do math. You're only at $175. So you get a sub, and there's the Sony sub goes down to like 28,000 or 28 hertz. That's low. 28 hertz is much lower than 50 hertz, and if those things make 50 hertz, I mean, not balanced. Okay, so you're talking $25 less to have a much better sounding experience than you would if you bought the towers that go down to 50 hertz. This sounds like it has less bass than, what did I just review? The Q Acoustics 3020, which is only rated down to 65 hertz. The Qs sound better, more balanced, and actually fuller on the bottom than the towers do, which is rated at 50 hertz. That's why you got to be really careful about looking at specs and saying, oh, this is rated down to 44, this is rated down to 50. Yeah, they may be able to get that out of that at negative 3 dB or negative 6 dB, but it doesn't mean that they're going to sound balanced or good at all. So, final thoughts are, don't buy these towers. I don't know why they exist. I really don't know why they exist, unless somebody just wants to have a tower. But even if they have a tower, they're not the right height for a tower. I mean, maybe if I like slouched way down on the couch, they would be the right height. but they're not. They're not the right height for me. And I would say 95% of the populace, unless you're very short. You have a very short seated height. I don't know why they're here. They're not going to be here for long. They are going back, putting them back in the box today. And I feel bad for them because I wanted to like them. I really did. You know, there's a couple speakers that have come in that have surprised me. One in a good way, which was the KEF Q150. Which you haven't watched that video, take a look at it. The other one is this Sony. And maybe my expectations should have been lower, but they would have been maybe okay if I had never heard their $75, or right now I think it's $120 little brother. Even at $120, I think the bookshelves are a fantastic deal. You can get a sub and you will have a way better experience. And these don't play significantly louder either. I thought, okay, well, maybe that's going to be the thing. Maybe they're going to be able to play louder and sound more balanced than when I really push the bookshelves. And they don't. They really don't. First of all, they don't sound better than the bookshelves. Secondly, they don't play that much louder than the bookshelves. Thirdly, when they do play louder, they don't feel as balanced as the bookshelves. I don't get it. Maybe I got a bad pair, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So, final thoughts on this, and my final statement on this is there's no magic with these speakers. And a lot of speakers have that X factor, the magic piece of them. The bookshelves have magic. They have that intangible thing that I can't really put my finger on, but it's there. It's even more pronounced because these speakers are so inexpensive. And I would argue this is one of the best speakers under $200, let alone under $100. At $100, the only thing that can possibly compete is the Numi BS5. But even that, I think for most people, the Sony would be the more pleasant speaker, the more desirable speaker. Under 200, these compete with the Klipsch R51M, which incidentally I'm giving away. So if you want to win a pair of Klipsch in a couple more days, I think I'm going to give them away. We're like to a little bit over 800 subscribers. Wanted to get to 1,000 by December 1st. That didn't happen. That's okay. I think it's going to happen. We're going to give them away. Anyway, these compete with the Klipsch R51M, which when on sale, that's a $144 speaker. When these are on sale, it's a $75 speaker. So, the bookshelves are magical. The towers are not. I wish I never heard the Sonys, and then I maybe would have better things to say about the towers. But I have heard the bookshelves. And so the towers, I don't know why they exist. I wouldn't buy them. I don't know what use case scenario they would be better than the bookshelves and the sub. That takes up less space. I mean, these are more convenient. They sound better. With the sub, they'll sound fantastic. They already sound fantastic without a sub. With a sub, forget about it. I don't get it. Even at $200, they're not a good value. I'm sorry, Sony. Like, Sony really cares what I have to say. First really bad review of a speaker. No, I'm sorry. But with that, I have a lot of other videos, so take a look at them. Subscribe, please. I'm still letting in subscribers. I know we're adopting them. They're coming in virtually. Come on in. I'm not gonna lock you in the basement and give you breadcrumbs or bread crusts and half-eaten chicken legs. I'm gonna give you good food, and we're gonna grow together. We're gonna be a family. Be part of the family. We're over 800 strong. Be part of the family. You might save some money on audio. Anyway, with that, I'm the cheap audio man. My first name is Randy. Thanks for watching this video.